right, so let's just make a very simple bouncing ball animation. If yours is set to side view like mine is, just hit 3 and then scroll a little bit. We want to bounce this ball. So what we're gonna do is pull up our timeline, ding, which is down here. How high do we want it to go? I'm gonna go ahead and click on the ball. I'm gonna hit G and Z and I'm gonna move it up. Oh, I like that where I can actually see that whole shadow on the wall. That's pretty fun. And that is going to be where I'm going to set my first keyframe. I'm going to go ahead and do auto key settings. Okay, so if I click on my auto key, I don't have to hit I to insert it. It will just automatically. So let's see, if I hit G and Z and I move that just a touch, ding, you'll notice that it automatically set my keyframe. Okay, so as I was doing that, I realized I should have been more precise about it. I want you to open up those tools, pull them out from the right-hand side, and let's start and do this again. Okay, I'm gonna go back to frame 1. I'm gonna hit GZ, and I'm gonna raise this, and I'm actually gonna just type in a 6 right here so that I know that it's exactly 6. I'm gonna go back to keyframe 20 again, and I'm gonna hit enter Z as 1. Let's see, is that still in between the ground? So I gotta get that above the ground. So G, Z, ding, there we go. Okay, and then at frame 20, I'm going to make it 6. Or at frame 40, sorry, 6. Okay, now press play. Perfect. There isn't a glitch because I have it going up as high as it is coming down, and it can just play over and over again. Okay, but we don't have the squash effect, so let's get that going. I'm going to press pause. So we're going to go to frame 19. We're going to hit I. Oops, sorry. Select your ball, hit I for insert keyframe, locate scale. Okay, and then we're going to go to frame 21, and we're going to hit I to insert locate scale. Okay, and then we're going to go back to frame 20, and we're going to give this ball some squash. Okay, so we can isolate the movement along X and Y only and eliminate Z by hitting S for scale and Shift Z so that it scales X and Y but not Z. So Shift Z. There it goes. Perfect. If you hit 7 for top view, you can see that it's a perfect little pancake. I don't know why it didn't work that first time. Okay, so I'm going to hit 3 again for side view. And I probably want to make sure that it's on the ground, and it looks like it's on the ground. So let's go ahead and play our animation and see what happens. Press play. Okay, looks like I stretched it out a little bit too much. So go into keyframe 20, and I'm going to hit S to scale it, and I'm going to hit Shift Z. Not quite so big around. S, Z, and squish it a little bit. And I'm going to hit G, Z, and I move it down a little bit. Let's press play and see what happens. Oh, that's looking almost realistic right now. Yeah, that's what we're talking about. Okay, so I started having trouble with my camera. It just wouldn't do what I wanted it to do. So what I ended up doing is just going over here to the timeline or not the timeline, but the outliner, and clicked on my camera to make sure I had it selected, and then I hit delete. And I deleted that camera, okay? Then I went ahead and got the scene where I wanted it, made sure that I had everything as I wanted to see it in the screen, which I do, and then I added a new camera, so add camera, and then when I hit Control-Alt-0, it put my camera right where I wanted it. I'm gonna press play, and it's not quite capturing the whole scene. So I need to zoom back a little bit. So you've got to make sure that you have your camera selected. You can do that by clicking on the outline here or just clicking on camera, and it will have the yellow line around it. And then hit G and Z. And if you do that, you'll notice it moves your scene up and down. And hit Z one more time, and now move your mouse and you'll notice that it will zoom back. Now left click to drop it there. And then I can scroll and zoom in a little bit more so I can see what's happening. Now I'm just going to press play, and boom, sure enough, the whole scene is in my camera view. And if I come into render image, I am going to just check to make sure it is capturing what I want. I need to zoom back a little bit so I can see the whole thing. And yes, it's capturing what I want it to. Perfect. Okay, so get your camera set up so that when I click 0, I'm seeing the scene exactly the way you intended me to see it. Good job. Don't forget to save your work. You can save this as version 2 and take a screenshot of your rendered image that you just made and paste it to the Google Slides in the assignment folder.